Tesla just released 2 new vehicle models, and who else other than Sawyer Merritt to be reporting on it first? Check this out.
This thing is going to start at $40,000. I think the actual exact price is $39,990. There are going to be 2 different wheel options. You got the 18-inch wheels, all new size for the Model Y, as well as the bigger 19-inch wheels. That's what's on this vehicle here. But with the 18-inch wheels, you get 321 miles. With the 19-inch wheels, you get 303 miles. 0 to 60 is about 6.8 seconds. That compares to about 5.4 seconds for the rear-wheel drive long-range Model Y, 4.6 seconds for the all-wheel drive Model Y. I will say, it feels quicker than that. I think this thing has plenty of get-up for the average person. Production is going to start initially in Giga, Texas, and then Fremont will also start after. The side of the profile of the vehicle is pretty much the same. I don't really notice any huge differences here. So let's talk about the redesigned front fascia here. Gone is the light bar that extended the entire width of the vehicle. You now have these new headlights. If you'll notice, this rear trunk lid matches the old Legacy Model Y. So basically what they did is they sort of took that design. You have this single piece, whereas on the all-wheel drive Premium, you have the 3 separate pieces, which makes it easier to repair. This just reduces cost. You also don't have the squared off glass anymore like you do on the Premium Model Y. This is the circular rear glass, just like you had on the Legacy Model Y. Overall efficiency of this vehicle is 5% better than the Model Y Premium is. A little bit of a redesign rear bumper here. The acoustic glass is gone, so you just have the tempered glass. You do have a fabric interior. Gone are the wraparound ambient LED lightings, the multicolor lighting that is. All through here, it's fabric on the Model Y Premium. Here, it's all plastic. You have the fabric seats. It's sort of a combination of the vegan leather and the textile fabric. And honestly, they are really comfortable. I like them. The speaker system. You do have a 7-speaker sound system. That's down from 15 before. This is my favorite part. Right here is the new center console. So you got an open concept now. Whereas on the Model Y Premium, this is all closed. And this is great if you have like bags or anything you want to throw down here. So this is a rear-wheel drive car. And as you can see from the exterior, actually, it's pretty much the same as the current Model 3 Premium. There really isn't that much visual differences on the exterior and even the interior. And I will point out is these new Aero wheels. This is completely new. 18-inch wheels. They give you 321 miles of range on the 18s and then 303 miles of range on the 19s. 0 to 60 is 5.8 seconds. This is only going to be available in the US. It's not going to be available in Canada or Mexico. They're just going to come with traffic-aware cruise control, but you still can upgrade to FSD for $8,000. All the cameras on the exterior are the complete same as you get on the other Model Y trim, so FSD will work just as good. You do get actually acoustic glass on the front of the new Model 3 Standard, which is cool. And you do get felt, or fabric lining rather, on the interior door cards, which you don't get on the Model Y Standard. There's no ventilated seats. There are heated seats, but only in the first row, just like the Model Y Standard. There is no multicolor ambient LED lighting, just like the Model Y Standard. Tesla's not going to allow any front bumper camera retrofits, unfortunately. The roof, still the panoramic glass roof, as I mentioned. No change there. Tesla didn't want to impact headroom there, so you still get the panoramic roof, which is great. Let's check out the rear here. Again, similar stuff. Got the fabric and the door cards, no ambient lighting, but you still got the fabric and the door lining, which is nice. Despite the fact that both the 3 and the Y Standard trims cost about $5,000 less than their premium counterparts. The Model 3 Standard is actually $5,500 less than the Model 3 Premium is, versus the Model Y Standard being about $5,000 less than the Model Y Premium. So I want to thank Tesla for inviting me.
I wanted to drop a couple of points which come top of mind in light of Tesla releasing 2 new model variations of their Model 3 and Model Y. Firstly, price elasticity creates exponential market expansion. The $40,000 price point unlocks massive untapped demand in the mass market segment. The Model Y Standard starts at $39,990, a full $5,000 less than the premium trim, while the Model 3 Standard comes in at $5,500 cheaper than its premium counterpart. Sawyer notes Tesla felt like this was really as far as they could go in terms of making those trade-offs, removing functions while still feeling comfortable enough that people are getting the true Tesla experience. The vehicles still maintain 300 miles plus of range and core Tesla features while hitting a psychologically critical sub $40,000 price point. For me, this is a textbook price elasticity strategy, and Tesla understands the math better than anyone. Breaking the 40K barrier isn't just a 12% price reduction, it's crossing into an entirely different buyer segment. Here's why this matters exponentially. The average new car price in America is around $48,000, but median household income is only $75,000. A $45,000 vehicle requires serious financial stretching for most families. A $40,000 vehicle suddenly becomes more accessible to millions more buyers who simply couldn't justify the premium tier. Tesla's done the calculation by removing most features many buyers consider luxury anyway: ventilated seats, folding mirrors, HEPA filters, etc. They're sacrificing minimal utility while unlocking more total addressable market. The Model Y became the world's best-selling vehicle at a higher price point. Now imagine what happens when you open the funnel to budget-conscious families, Uber drivers, and first-time EV buyers who were priced out before. This is about capturing the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4 buyers who would never have considered a $45,000 car, but will absolutely look at a $40,000 Tesla. The removal of acoustic glass and ambient lighting doesn't impact the core value proposition. It's still a Tesla with autopilot capability, supercharger access, over-the-air updates, and 300 miles plus of range. Here's a true Tesla experience. Tesla's done their best to identify the acceptable compromises available. Any cheaper and you'd lose what the Tesla brand is all about. At $40,000, you're still buying into the Tesla ecosystem, just without the luxury features. For Tesla, this compounds their mission. More cars on the road means more supercharger revenue, more FSD subscriptions, more data, more word of mouth, and more robotaxi potential in the future. But here's the real kicker. The standard trim architecture is purpose-built for autonomous fleet economics, not consumer ownership. The Model Y standard removes every feature irrelevant to autonomous operation. No power folding mirrors, no ventilated seats, no acoustic glass, manual seat controls, fabric seats instead of vegan leather, open center console design, and a simplified interior with all plastic lower door panels. Yet the Model 3 and Model Y standard maintain every critical autonomy feature, all the same cameras as premium trims, full self-driving capability, 300 plus miles of range, and hardware 4. This is a Tesla robotaxi prototype hiding in plain sight, and the economics are stunning once you understand what they're building. Let's break down why every single removal makes perfect sense for an autonomous fleet, and then I'll dive into why this gives Tesla such a competitive edge. Power folding mirrors. A robotaxi never needs to fold its mirrors in. Ventilated seats. Passengers are in the car for 15 minutes on average, not multi-hour long commutes. Acoustic glass. Fleet vehicles prioritize durability and replacement cost over premium comfort. And also, most Tesla robotaxi trips will be around town and will be doing low speeds where acoustic glass is less beneficial. Manual seat controls via the screen. In an autonomous vehicle, there's no driver adjusting seats constantly. Passengers can just do that from the screen or the app if needed, and this eliminates expensive motorized seat mechanisms that add weight, complexity, and failure points. Now let's consider the unit economics. At sub $40,000, if Tesla operates these vehicles in a robotaxi fleet, generating 50 to 75 cents per mile in revenue and drives 100,000 miles annually, that's going to generate $50 to $75,000 in gross revenue per vehicle year. The vehicle pays for itself in under 12 months, then generates pure profit for years. The 300 plus mile range means fewer charging stops during high demand periods. The simplified interior means lower maintenance cost, fewer motors to break, less complex electronics, more durable materials. Every feature Tesla removes was a potential maintenance liability in a fleet environment. Tesla is selling these standard trims to consumers today, generating revenue immediately while simultaneously testing the exact architecture they'll deploy in robotaxi fleets. Every Model Y standard on the road is a real-world test of durability, maintenance requirements, and customer acceptance of the simplified interior. Tesla gets paid to beta test their robotaxi hardware platform. When they're ready to launch robotaxi fleet at scale, they already have the manufacturing lines running, the supply chains established, the cost structure proven, and real-world data on reliability. There's also a production scaling angle. By manufacturing hundreds of thousands of these standard trims for consumer sales now, Tesla achieves the economies of scale needed to eventually produce robotaxi fleet vehicles at even lower costs. Once autonomous driving reaches regulatory approval and they transition from consumer sales to fleet deployment, the marginal cost to produce these vehicles could drop to perhaps even sub $30,000, making the robotaxi unit economics even more compelling. Finally, consider the competitive moat this creates. Waymo is spending $150,000 plus per vehicle on modified Jaguar I-Paces with expensive LiDAR systems. Cruise was burning through capital with similarly expensive custom vehicles. Tesla is producing a purpose-built autonomous vehicle platform for sub $40,000 using cameras and AI, and they're getting customers to pay for the R&D and manufacturing scale-up. When robotaxi launches, Tesla's cost per vehicle will be a fraction of competitors, allowing them to undercut pricing while maintaining higher margins. They can offer 50-cent per mile rides profitably, while competitors need 2 to 3 miles just to break even. If you found this video of any value, why not consider hitting subscribe? Cheers.